thanks for coming to the book presentation. And the author of this book is Moses Maimon, who has a spiritual name Somananda. So feel free to start transferring to Somananda. And of course, we're talking about Tantra. And this is the first original book in Estonian called Tantra, ehk Sex hingele, sex for soul. And we have some translated books, but this is the first time that somebody has taken an effort and written down everything, well, most of it. You need to start with the Tantra. Why did you write this book? And for who also?
Yeah.
Please elaborate that as well, because for some people Tantra is just physical, sexual, and for others it's so spiritual. So talk about that a little bit, please.
Okay. So first of all, I had the idea to write a book about Tantra for years now. I just never really had the opportunity because I was busy with other projects, and I was managing the Agama Yoga School in Thailand for a few years. Then I was teaching workshops around Europe, and I never really had the time to sit and write a book. The right moment didn't come. But about a year ago, when the situation was fitting and I met the right people to cooperate, then it was the right moment to do it, and indeed it started happening, and now it's launched, it's published. The reason why I feel this book is so important is because the information in Tantra, and this is something I got a lot in my workshops. Many times when I was teaching Tantra, people were saying to me at the end of a workshop, and this is a very common thing, people would say, this information, this knowledge should be taught in schools. And everybody should know about it from a much younger age. And this information definitely shouldn't be kept for, only those who dare to come to a workshop, because even that for some people is a challenge to come and make the effort to do a workshop. And that's exactly the reason why I feel this book, and that's my motivation to write the book, because this makes it available for everyone. Those who are interested in Tantra and never really had the chance or the possibility to come and get teachings, they can read the book. And those, of course, who do know already about Tantra but would like to have a good book at home to always be able to read, to go to when you have some questions, and refer to some of the things there, because I made sure that the book deals with some of the more metaphysical, spiritual aspects of Tantra, but at the same time I made sure that the book also presents practical information and techniques that people can start practicing at home, for men, for women. And in this way the book can be both inspirational and practical. So this is a long answer to a short question.
So basically it's for everybody, for the people who know nothing about Tantra, yes. For the people who are already walking the path of Tantra.
I think everyone can benefit from it, yes. And to be honest, and I'm saying it with all humbleness, truly, I have seen a lot of books about Tantra out there that don't present the knowledge the way that I've learned it from my teacher Swami for many years, and they miss out on a lot of the essential points. And I felt that, with all humbleness, maybe I could help with that, and that's why in this book I definitely made sure that the essential points, the most critical, important information that is so necessary in order to really understand what Tantra is present in this book, and therefore that's why I'm very happy about it.
What essential points?
From, for example, understanding truly what is the sexual energy, how men, for example, should control the sexual energy and be able to use it and not to discharge or to lose their sexual energy.
I'll ask this question, which you will probably get asked a lot from the times when the books are out in the bookshops, which is on Monday, and you can also buy the book from there, from the Pilgrim booth, and ask the author to sign it. But it says, sex hingele, sex for soul, and obviously it's a silly question, but still, how can a soul have sex? How can souls make love?
The title, The Sex for the Soul, was a title that I came up with simply because the book is very practical and it does talk a lot about sexuality for the purpose of how to make the relationship better, how to resolve various issues, how to improve the health and other things. And I wanted at least the title, although there are a few chapters in the book which touch the metaphysical, spiritual levels of Tantra, I wanted the title to reflect that more than anything else. And that's why when I say sex for the soul, I actually mean that there is another way of having sex. Not just having sex for pleasure only, not just having sex to relieve yourself from stress, not just having sex because you have an itch that has to be scratched and what to do, we have to do it, but actually to have sex because if you do it in the tantric way, it can achieve all the beautiful things that you want, including multiple orgasms, pleasure, and so on, but also it can bring you as a human being, if you do it correctly, to a kind of higher level of consciousness. It can bring you closer to your soul. That's what in Tantra we call self-realization, or you can even say soul realization, because the self is the same concept as the soul, what we call soul in the West. And that's why I called it sex for the soul. Can you make love in order to understand yourself better, in order to understand the soul of your partner better, in order to come together between the souls? That would be an amazing sexuality. That would be sexuality that will go beyond just the superficial pleasure. Because as even my teacher, Swami, was mentioning it in one of the other lectures, I think yesterday, he was mentioning it, that for a lot of people, the sexuality can, be the first thing, the glue that attracts the couple together. Oh, we're so hot for each other. But then what do you do after a few years when it's natural that somehow the endorphins and so on get low and you feel like we're not so hot physically, so horny, so attracted physically to each other? Is the relationship gone? Do we have to start having problems or divorce or whatever, separate? If you make love with the intention to have more of a soul revelation, a connection on the soul, then that is completely different. And then the sexuality can be maintained and can be revealing and transfigurating and transforming for the couple, and not just a superficial type of sexuality. And that was the intention of the title, to somehow bring that first. Because Tantra, as we said, is not just for some great sex. It's not just to become a Buddha or enlightened. It can also do amazing things for the relationship, which could be, even if that's the only thing that people will take from this book or from Tantra, if everyone on this planet, every couple will have an amazing relationship because of Tantra, this planet already will change to a paradise. So even that would be amazing in itself.